So I just wanted to share with you the story behind the song My Child. Some of you may not have heard that before. It's a song that I wrote probably about 7 or 8 years ago now. And at the time I was recording an album with some friends. It was just a bit of a homemade project that we kind of did. And I had a couple of songs on the album that I'd written, and this wasn't one of them. I had 2 songs. One of them was set and kind of ready to go, and the other one just didn't seem to fit right. It just didn't seem to have that something that it needed to carry. Anyway, so we kind of just kept working on this, and just those were the 2 that I was expecting to put on it. And during that time, I was just going through quite a tough time in life. Felt pretty just battered, really, and bruised, not physically, just spiritually, and just kind of felt like really low, just really, yeah, life was tough. And so anyway, one night I was going to bed, going to sleep, and just kind of felt like God was just woke me and just gave me the words to this song. And I remember it was really late at night, and I was like, please God, I just want to go to sleep. Please don't talk to me now. I'm tired. But anyway, I couldn't shake it off, and so I had to get up, grab a notepad and a pen, and I just basically wrote down the whole of this song. And I just really felt like God just gave me the words to this there and then. And so if you've heard the song, you kind of just know it's wrote from God's point of view, and I just felt like God was just speaking these words over me, but also just over anyone that might hear this song. I just felt like this was stuff that we just needed to be reminded of, and I know for me in that stage of life, I really needed to know this truth, and I really didn't at the time. I really didn't feel like this, but actually even through this song, God really taught me these truths and reminded me of these truths. And so anyway, so I wrote this song. The following day, we had another band practice for recording, and I just brought this song and I showed my brother and a friend of mine as well in the band, and just kind of said, what do you think? It's really rough, and I've literally just written it last night, but I just think that maybe this could replace the other song. And I was really nervous to share it because it's quite a personal song to me, and quite an intimate song as well. But I shared it, and they seemed to really like it, and so we ended up recording it and putting it on the album. Yeah, it was just I just kind of, I was quite nervous about people hearing it, just because it's very different. It's not a typical worship song because it is wrote from God's perspective, but I just felt sometimes we need those songs just to sit and listen to, as though God is kind of saying these words over us. And just throughout the whole thing, I just feel like it was just God's truths, from his word, and that actually, although I wrote the song, I don't feel like it was from me. I feel like it was from him. And I really hope that as you listen to it, if you haven't already, if you have, I just really pray that God just really speaks to you through these words, and just that you're reminded of the truth that, God knows you, that he chose you, that he loves you. And also just the truths of, God is in our hurting, and he shares in our pain and in our weakness and in our stress. And I know in that time that was something I really needed to know, that God was in my pain and God was in my suffering, but actually that I can now say, brought me through that time. And obviously the final verse kind of turns around from our point of view, and just kind of like, once we've kind of recognised those things that God say about us, that actually we can kind of come back and say that all the stuff, all the hurt and all the pain and everything that we go through and have been through and that we have done, God has nailed it to the cross, and because of that, these things are finished. That whatever happens in our lives, whatever struggles we go through, whatever pain, whatever trials, God says that he has finished it, that all the sin, all the shame and all the pain has been wiped away, and one day when we meet him in heaven, every tear will be wiped from our eye. And so that's kind of the story behind the song. I hope it really blesses you. If you haven't heard it, I've just recorded an acoustic version which is up on my YouTube channel now, so feel free to have a listen. But yeah, that's the story behind My Child. Bless you guys. See you soon.
I believe